The school dream of an ordinary guy who was passionate about motorcycles, which suffered ridicule from his friends, subsequently forcing him to build a V8 motorcycle, travel the world on it, and set world drag racing records. He was called the Michigan Madman. He set 3 world records and entered history as the craziest motorcycle racer on the planet. e.j.Potter, whose early career ran parallel to the career of the daredevil Showman, traveled around America and participated in various events. During that time period, numerous exhibitions focused on dragsters showcased racers renowned for constructing their own vehicles and undertaking extraordinary risks by performing with them. Potter, like others, was known for building a drag monster using a 220 kg small block Chevy V8 engine that generated 500 horsepower. This powerful engine was installed on a motorcycle frame. It goes without saying that Potter's creation was unprecedented and unmatched at the time. Potter was a self-taught mechanical genius. Usually he walked along the track either for the best time or for the highest speed recorded at the finish that day, aiming to set a new record. AJ did not want to win any prizes, he simply showed up and attracted people to come and observe him. Fans came not only to see how fast he was driving, but also because there was always a chance that it would be the last ride of the Michigan Madman. Extreme vibrations of a huge V8 motorcycle, the sound, constantly slipping rear wheel, which inevitably began to throw the motorcycle from side to side. All this and almost endless burnout until the very finish represented a unique spectacle. At the end of Potter's performances, fans consoled themselves with the fact that this time they almost saw his last ride and will definitely come for a ticket to the next performance of the Madman. Something like the American NASCAR, where viewers are constantly waiting for the next collisions on the track. Jack Potter grew up in Ithaca, Michigan, and loved motorcycles from an early age. A typical rural boy grew up on a farm, laboring with tractor engines, putting together motorcycles and riding them on dirt tracks well before he obtained his initial driver's license. Elon experienced speed for the first time, installing a lawnmower engine on a bicycle. His mother, driving in the car next to him, recorded a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. The intense sensations from riding that motorcycle felt that day will stay with him forever. Once in school, he was drawing a Harley-Davidson motorcycle with a classic V-twin, and during that he began to wonder, will he be able to build a motorcycle with a V8 engine? He told his friends about his idea, to which they just laughed. A banal youth mockery later motivated Potter to embody his idea in reality. This idea came to him when he was 16 years old, and within a year he would build his first V8 motorcycle, which he named Bloody Mary. The motorcycle was equipped with a 4.7-liter Chevy V8 from 1957. And over the years, Elon answered the question of why this engine. Quote, "In fact, it was a simple ignorance. I really didn't know what a Chevy V8 was back then. I only relied on the facts from Carterov's journals that it was the smallest, lightest and most powerful car engine ever created at that time." Depending on the modification, this engine produced from 185 to 315 horsepower. During the initial test launch, the local police halted the teenager, stating that he has no desire to encounter Bloody Mary on the street again. After that, Potter took the motorcycle to the DRAGSTRIP, where he suddenly became a local celebrity. The rumor rapidly spread that there is one crazy guy and you simply have to come and see how he rides his motorcycle. Over 3 years, 3 modifications of Bloody Mary were built. In 1961, he'll change the name to a Widowmaker and the engine to the Chevy small block, but with a larger volume. So, until the start of the 70s, Potter slowly installed Chevy V8 engines of growing displacement and concurrently established drag racing world records. The last seventh, with 3 Bloody Mary Widows, had an engine of 5.7 liters or 350 cubic inches in American style and a power of 500 horsepower. Starting with the Bloody Mary, Potter experimented with a homemade clutch from a Harley-Davidson drum brake, which limited his maximum speed to 182 kilometers per hour, but when he was promised to be paid $1 for every kilometer after 160 kilometers per hour or 100 miles per hour, he replaced the clutch with his own direct drive system. This quickly raised his finish speed to 218 kilometers per h or 136 miles per hour. And to receive $36 for each race in the early 1960s, that is very good money. To be specific, it's over $300 per race today, for a self-taught person, a young daredevil, living only by idea. Later he earned $150 per ride. By the way, the rear tire lasted only 3 such races. The direct drive was the only transmission option for his motorcycles. The last Widow was built on the same principle, making it the final one. The power unit of the 7th number also had aluminum Bordeaux heads, forged pistons, a Vertex magneto, and a Kinsler-Hilborn fuel injection. This thing spun up to 7,500 revolutions per minute. But how did this motorcycle start in races without clutches? To do this, Potter made a special stance so that the rear wheel could spin in the air. Elon maintained revs at limit, and when green light appeared at DRAGSTRIP, he pushed motorcycle off stand, didn't let go of throttle until finish line. A peculiar rodeo. Later in his interviews, Potter came to the conclusion that it was his youthful maximalism that allowed him to complete this project and perform all over the world even at a fairly serious age. In the end, Potter and his widower #7 visited multiple countries globally, like Canada, England and Australia. He achieved 3 world records, and the final one also granted him the title of fastest motorcycle in the world. Potter's record quarter-mile run lasted for 8.68 seconds, with an exit speed of 276 kilometers per hour. AJ solely worked with what he had, and what he did not have in principle at that particular time. He was a genuine pioneer. He accomplished everything by himself. It was his original idea, his offspring. These honest 500 horsepower, he just sat on them, turned the gas handle to the maximum, and lived through these 400 meters. Every time, every ride,